welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Ejeomah. Today's video is going to be quite much a different video from the kind of videos I've made in the time past. And you get to know the reason in a few minutes. So I'm just going to make this video quick and short by answering questions that I had and most people had before coming into Nigeria to write the exam, and which we couldn't find online. Instead of complaining about it, which it was an issue, I thought that I could just be a part of solution once I started getting used to the system, or once I got the answers to the questions that we needed as foreign pharmacy graduates. So I have the questions, I just wrote them down here. First of all, every foreign pharmacy graduate is required to write this exam. This is whether you studied in Estonia, in the UK, in the US, as long as you're a Nigerian and you're returning back to Nigeria to practice or whatsoever, you are required to write this exam. You cannot escape it. So that is one thing. So it is called Fpgop, that is Foreign Pharmacy Graduate Orientation Program. That is what it's called. So this orientation program takes 6 weeks. Yeah, a total of 6 weeks, and then I hope I'm right. A total of 6 weeks, in which there will be 5 weeks of practical classes, and then the last week would be for your exam. Okay, after your exam, you're going to have to wait for about 3 to 5 weeks. But to be honest, it can be up to 2 months for your results and then thereafter, if you passed, then you can get inducted into the system. Okay, how much does it cost? It costs 315,000 naira, so it could be $950 depending on the rate of dollar, $950 or more depending on the currency exchange rates at the time you're paying. This cost does not include feeding, it does not include accommodation. Yeah, I know. This is just for the program in itself. The program, I think the payment for the lecturers and whatnot for your exam papers, I don't even know. But then the only time you'll get food is on the second day or on the first day when you go for interview. Yes, after the payment of 315k, you will go for an interview after the payment. Don't you do interview before you pay? I don't know. Sorry. That's how it is. There will be a timetable, something like this. There will be a timetable given to you, and most of the classes you kind of tend to have like 4 to 5 classes in a day from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. During our time, there was no evening classes, and for the most part during the past years there were no evening classes. But I don't know if that could change in the future, but there are no evening classes, just 9 to 3 classes during my time. So 9 to 3 p.m. each day. Then on Friday you close by 12 p.m. During the interview, what kind of questions do they ask? They just basically ask you like basic questions concerning pharmacy, especially if you had like some projects you defend while you're in school or your final year. It doesn't take place in the same place every year, so every year there's always they're always like shifted to a different state for this program. So last year, that was 2019, it was in Lagos, and there are always 2 cycles in a year. So one takes place in the beginning of the year and one takes place at the ending of the year. Then the other in the beginning of the year around March, April. Yeah, and then these 2 cycles can be in different states, and you might luckily have them in the same state. So that's depending on PCN again. It might be happening in your city, in your state, or you might have to travel all the way to the city or state. Ours took place, because it was in Lagos, it took place in Lagos Teaching Hospital. So most times it usually takes place in a university. Another question is, are there lecture materials? So most times the lecture materials will be provided to you via soft copy, and sometimes the lecturers might want to sell their lecture materials and you have to buy them. So it's not provided by PCN, it's depending on the university. Some of them will sell them to you, some of them will give you soft copy that you can go and make hard copies yourself. These materials are not provided to you by PCN, it's all on you. So you can make copies and you can make your own notes, form your own notes from there and study from there and do whatever you want from there. There are about 7 subjects, and they're going to be listed here. 7 subjects in total during this program. Also, what's left? That's all concerning the exam. So in case you have any questions, I would rather answer your questions down in the comment section below. So please just ask your questions and I'll be there to answer. Thank you all for watching, and see you in another video. Bye bye.